of the strengths of Data Vault is that we have a limited set of table types to work with. So I like to think of it like an artist's palette. You've got a limited set of colors, and it's up to you as the data modeler, data architect, to work with those colors to build a picture of the business that you're working with. So when you work with that, you have your satellites, hubs and links, the traditional 3 parts, but there's plenty of other table types to work with. Well, not plenty of others, but a few others to factor into the model. And depending on the artists you have or the data modeler at work, you might have an abstract model produced. So they work at the high end of abstraction. You'll have parties, locators, events, all those sorts of things modeled in your diagram. The next architect, the next data modeler to come along, they might be a bit more physical in modeling. They may actually use objects that you can relate to in the real world that you're looking at in the business. Now, it's interesting because you've effectively got the same building blocks, but different results. And I've been party to many discussions in clients where they sort of say, do we want an abstract model? Do we want a more physical model? Which is the best? Well, just like art, you can't really compare these together. They are both representations. They may even be painting the same scene for all you know. It really is a little bit down to taste. So the answer really is it depends. They may be both mathematically equivalent to each other, but there are other factors involved in there which may make you tend towards one or the other, depending on the circumstances of the model that you're working with. So first rule I would say there is that data modeling is actually an art, not a science. So if you've got 2 different data modelers at work, you're going to get 2 different data models out at the far end. And that's either good or bad, depending on your perspective of what's going on here. Now, I think that choice is good because it gives you flexibility and offers you different ways to solve the same problem. So if you explore one avenue and it doesn't seem to work well, you can reverse back out and try some other avenue in there, or even a 3rd or 4th style, until you get one that works for you. The problem with that, though, is it does mean you have to make decisions about which way you're actually going to go with, and you have to engage your brain in the modeling. So that's rule 2. Data Vault modeling requires you to apply judgment and the application of common sense. On rule 3, when you look for a decision on the best way to model a situation, you'll often hear the words, it depends. So I've sat in groups of people evaluating a model. One's advocating for more abstract, one's advocating for a more physical version of the model. And it goes round in circles, which is the best, picking a way forward. So really, on the face of it, when you first learn Data Vault modeling, it looks easy. Yeah? You've got simple building blocks to work with, some simple rules to work with. But that's what you see above the waves, above the water level. When you go below the water level, you're dealing with data. Now, data in organizations can throw up all kinds of issues. Some organizations, the data is really nice and clean, but most organizations, the data is quite messy. Source data is quite messy. Data Vault gives you a way of tackling that data, but whichever method you use, not just Data Vault, whichever method you use for modeling, it can throw up issues about how's the best way to model this, how's the best way to bring this into our data warehouse. And there are heuristics out there that can help you take a perspective on some of those data formats, data issues, helps you to solve them. And it's one of those things which you pick up over time. So as you get more experienced, you develop a craft for data modeling, and that helps you cope with the situations that come your way. So another rule in there, data vault modeling rewards the application of experience. You can't replace experience to get a good data model out at the far end.